Good morning. For those who don't know me, I'm Stephen Blevins, probably better known in Irish Methodist circles as one of Maureen's sons. And I suppose when I say that this morning I should give a special welcome to those who are logging in from Tandragee and Market Hill. Can I also say at this stage, I am not your man of Sky News. That's David, my twin brother. So now we've got that out of the way, let us focus on Thursday's thought for the day. This morning we're going to continue our messages on peace as a fruit of the Spirit. I'm a great fan of Northern Ireland author Tony Macaulay. Tony's books manage to blend beautifully the humour of our lives and our language here in Northern Ireland with the seriousness of the fact that even after many decades, we as a people still can't find a way to live together in our capital city without the need for peace walls between the Protestant and the nationalist communities. As a celebrated peace builder, Tony dedicates much of his life to trying to build bridges between communities, particularly where he grew up. He has travelled the world with a desire to share our story and, more importantly, find solutions that could see the lasting removal of those walls. Thanks to Twitter and a coincidental meeting in a Portstewart coffee shop, Tony and I became friends, and I was delighted that 2 years ago he joined a team that I was leading on behalf of Fields of Life to work in East Africa. We've both spent time in Rwanda, and we both live in awe at the Rwandan people's ability to live peacefully together even after the 1994 Hutu genocide against the Tutsis that saw the death of somewhere between 500,000 and 1 million people. Tony now often uses their example of forgiveness as a model when working alongside those from other war-torn countries, including ourselves here in Northern Ireland. It is a challenging and often thankless work. But in Matthew 5 verse 9, Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God." We are all passionate about certain things in our life, our families, our work, our politics, and very often our faith. In these days of social media, that passion can very easily lead to quick, angry, poorly considered opinions being expressed publicly. Jesus is God's agent of peace, his messenger of peace, and the embodiment of the fruit of the Spirit. Jesus is our perfect example of peace, especially when we are faced with times of difficulty, and also when he was faced with times of difficulty and stress and pressure, and that was very often during his ministry. There was the frequent busyness of the crowds, the pressure of the opposition from religious leaders, and in particular the stresses he bore when facing imminent death on the cross. And yet all along we see in Jesus the strong inner attitude of a peace-filled spirit. And what we hear from his lips are words that reflect the peace of God. And even on the rare occasion when Jesus spoke firmly, he did so with godly moderation. What an example for all of us. In Micah 5 verse 5, the angels proclaimed that he, Jesus, will be our peace when our land is invaded. And in Isaiah 9 verse 6, it was prophesied that he would be called the Prince of Peace. When he calmed the storm, Jesus brought such tranquility. And he provides an example of how we as his servants here on earth can do the same. In fact, he commands us to do exactly the same. In 1 John chapter 2 verse 6, he reminds us that whoever claims to live in him must walk as Jesus did. And in Philippians 2 verse 5, we are instructed that our attitudes should be the same as that of Jesus Christ. The fruit of the Spirit reflects to us the true nature and character of Jesus. And we therefore need to be filled with that same fruit of the Spirit of peace. To have it, we must pray for it. And to have more of it, we must pray for more of it. Sometimes the more passionate we feel about a situation, the harder we must pray for the right words, the right time, the right tone, and the right forum on which to mirror the godly moderation and fruit of the Spirit perfectly modelled by Jesus. Our angry opinions about faith, about politics, about discrimination, etc., in no way reflect peace as a fruit of the Spirit. Sometimes we need God to calm our internal storm before we can speak with peace into someone else's storm. So this morning I'm going to use the words of John Cohen's "Make me a channel of your peace" to pray that where there is hatred, let us bring God's love. Where there is injury, let us bring God's pardon. Where there's doubt, let us bring true faith in him. Where there's despair in life, let us bring hope. Where there is darkness, let us be God's light. And where there's sadness, may we be the givers of Christ's joy. May I pray that the Holy Spirit bring peace to you and all who you see and all who you work with this Thursday. God bless.